Imagine you're soaring hundreds of feet above one of the driest places on Earth, the vast sun-scorched desert of southern Peru. Below you, etched into the dark, rust-colored plains, is something impossible. A spider, perfectly rendered, its form so precise you can identify the species. Not far from it, a hummingbird, wings frozen in mid-flap. Then a monkey with a spiral tail, a whale, a dog, and hundreds of geometric shapes, triangles, trapezoids, and perfectly straight lines stretching for miles, some even crossing over the animal figures. These are the Nazca Lines, a sprawling gallery of geoglyphs so massive they can only be truly appreciated from the sky. For nearly 2,000 years, they have lain here, a silent testament to a civilization that vanished long ago. Who were the Nazca people? And more importantly, why did they carve these colossal drawings into the desert floor, creating a spectacle they themselves could never fully see? This is one of archaeology's most profound enigmas. The lines are not just drawings. They are a message, a challenge, a whisper from the past, daring us to uncover their meaning. And today, we're taking on that challenge. The Nazca Lines are scattered across an area of nearly 200 square miles. The sheer scale is mind-boggling. There are over 800 straight lines, some running parallel, some intersecting to form complex grids. Alongside these are more than 300 geometric figures and, of course, the 70 biomorphs, the famous animal and plant drawings. The largest of these figures, a lizard, stretches an incredible 617 feet, longer than 2 football fields. The creation method was deceptively simple. The Nazca people removed the top layer of reddish-brown, iron oxide-coated pebbles to reveal the lighter-colored sand underneath. The contrast creates the lines, but simple technique doesn't mean simple work. It was a monumental undertaking requiring immense planning, precision, and a massive, coordinated labor force. And here's a fascinating detail. Because this region is so arid, with minimal rain and wind, these delicate etchings have been preserved for almost 2 millennia, a fragile masterpiece protected by the very harshness of its environment. But this raises the most tantalizing question. If you can't see the full picture from the ground, who was the intended audience? The first and most famous theory came from a German mathematician named Maria Ricke. She dedicated her life to the lines, earning the title, the Lady of the Lines. From the 1940s until her death in 1998, she single-handedly mapped, cleaned, and protected them. Ricke was convinced the lines were a massive astronomical calendar. She proposed that the figures, like the monkey and the spider, aligned with constellations, and the long, straight lines pointed to the exact positions of the sun, moon, and stars during important celestial events like the solstices. She believed the Nazca were sophisticated sky watchers, using the desert floor as their observatory to predict seasons and guide their agricultural cycles. For instance, she theorized the hummingbird figure aligned with the sunrise at the winter solstice. It's a beautiful, elegant idea, a civilization in perfect harmony with the cosmos, writing their understanding of the universe into the very earth they walked on. Maria Ricke's work was foundational, and for decades her astronomical theory was the leading explanation. But as technology advanced, so did our ability to scrutinize her claims. In the 1960s, astronomer Gerald Hawkins, who had famously proven Stonehenge was an ancient astronomical observatory, turned his computers towards Nazca. After extensive analysis, he concluded that the celestial alignments were no better than random chance. The lines didn't seem to point to anything significant with any consistency. This was a major blow to the calendar theory. While some alignments might exist, they weren't systematic enough to function as a reliable astronomical tool. The puzzle of the Nazca Lines was suddenly wide open again. If not a map of the stars, then what? The answer, many archaeologists now believe, lies not in the sky but in the ground, and in the most precious resource in any desert, water. This leads us to the water ritual theory, which has gained significant traction in recent years. Archaeologists like Johann Reinhardt argue that the lines were not meant to be seen from above, but to be walked upon. They were ceremonial pathways, ritual processional routes designed to summon water from the gods. The Nazca civilization thrived in an incredibly arid environment, where drought was a constant existential threat. Their survival depended on a sophisticated system of underground aqueducts called puquios, and their religion was likely centered on ensuring a steady supply of water. The animal figures, the spider, monkey, and hummingbird, weren't just random drawings. They were potent symbols. Many of these creatures are associated with water and fertility in Andean mythology. For example, spiders are often seen before it rains, and hummingbirds are native to the more humid, mountainous regions where water originates. The lines, therefore, could have been sacred spaces where entire communities would walk, dance, and pray, performing rituals to appease deities who controlled the rain and the rivers. The figures weren't art for an aerial audience, but a blueprint for a sacred terrestrial pilgrimage, and there's physical evidence to support this. Archaeologists have found small altars and broken pottery at the intersections of many lines, suggesting offerings were made there. The very act of creating these lines, a massive communal effort, could have been a form of worship in itself. Rather than looking up to the stars, perhaps the Nazca were focused on the sacred landscape around them. The lines connected them to mountains, which were seen as the source of water, and to the earth itself, which they hoped to make fertile. This theory transforms the lines from a cold, scientific instrument into a vibrant, living stage for a community's most desperate pleas and profound beliefs. It's a powerful image. People walking in unison along the shape of a hummingbird, their footsteps a prayer for rain. So where does that leave us? Honestly, the mystery isn't fully solved, and it might never be. The Nazca didn't leave behind any written language, just these silent, mysterious drawings. The astronomical calendar theory has mostly been dismissed as the whole answer, but it might still have a piece of the puzzle. Right now, the water ritual theory is the favorite among archaeologists because it fits with what we know about the Nazca's environment and beliefs. It paints the lines as a human response to a tough world, a testament to faith, community, and survival. Maybe the lines had multiple purposes over the years they were created. Some could have been for stargazing, others for rituals, and some might have just marked territory or paths to sacred spots. The real meaning could be a mix of all these ideas. What we do know is that the Nazca lines are a powerful expression of human creativity and determination. They remind us that ancient peoples were just as complex, smart, and driven as we are today. They might not have been chatting with aliens, but they're definitely talking to us, urging us to look closer, think deeper, and appreciate the lasting impact of a message written on the earth itself. But for scientists, not so much. First off, it's super condescending to the Nazca people, totally underestimating their creativity and skills. They were actually brilliant engineers. Just look at their amazing puquios aqueduct system. Plus, the ground in the Nazca area is soft soil and gravel, not exactly a great spot for heavy spacecraft to land. Any landing would have wrecked those lines. And the biggest kicker? There's absolutely zero archaeological evidence, no strange artifacts or materials, to back up this alien connection. The alien runway theory is just a classic case of looking for a complex, out-of-this-world answer when a human one makes way more sense. So where does that leave us? Honestly, the mystery isn't fully solved, and it might never be. The Nazca didn't leave behind any written language, just these silent, mysterious drawings. The astronomical calendar theory has mostly been dismissed as the whole answer, but it might still have a piece of the puzzle. Right now, the water ritual theory is the favorite among archaeologists because it fits with what we know about the Nazca's environment and beliefs. It paints the lines as a human response to a tough world, a testament to faith, community, and survival. Maybe the lines had multiple purposes over the years they were created. Some could have been for stargazing, others for rituals, and some might have just marked territory or paths to sacred spots. The real meaning could be a mix of all these ideas. What we do know is that the Nazca lines are a powerful expression of human creativity and determination. They remind us that ancient peoples were just as complex, smart, and driven as we are today. They might not have been chatting with aliens, but they're definitely talking to us, urging us to look closer, think deeper, and appreciate the lasting impact of a message written on the earth itself. The Nazca Lines are more than just a historical curiosity. They are a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a fragile treasure that needs our protection. In recent years, they have faced threats from squatters, illegal mining, and even careless tourists. In 2014, a Greenpeace publicity stunt permanently damaged the area around the hummingbird figure, a stark reminder of their vulnerability. Protecting these lines means protecting our shared human story. As researchers continue to use modern tools like drones and satellite imagery, new figures are still being discovered, adding fresh pages to this ancient book. The Nazca Lines remind us that some mysteries are worth preserving, not just for the answers they might one day yield, but for the sense of wonder they inspire. They encourage us to look at the world and see the potential for magic, meaning, and connection, etched into the very fabric of our planet. Thank you so much for joining us on this journey into the Peruvian desert. If you enjoyed this exploration, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel for more deep dives into the world's greatest mysteries. We'll see you next time.